Manic Monday. Alright, what's up, y'all? What's happening? I wonder who's going to be in here today. Alright. Where the hell is my parking brake set? That's weird. I'm going to stop off. I never set my parking brake. I wonder why it was on today. Must be having some electronic problems with these cars. I know it's got an issue with the what do they call it, noise cancellation or something like that. Or if I'm going like 63 miles an hour, I get this vibration. Of course, I've already discussed that before, but I guess I could go over it again. So when I'm going down the road at 63 miles an hour, which is roughly, I don't know, 22,000, 2,300 RPM, something like that. I get this noise that sounds like I'm on rumble strips, but I'm not. It's actually like a feedback in the speakers. Hello, viewer. I wonder if that's my viewer that likes to come in and then take off as soon as they get here. Another mundane Monday. I'm gonna have to stop and get some fuel today, folks. Only got a quarter tank in this thing. Fucking gas prices are outrageous, are they not? Jeez. I've almost wanted to resort to riding my motorcycle back and forth to work, but God, I hate riding that thing. At least that far anyway. I don't mind going little short trips, but I don't like riding it a whole too far. It's 23 miles to my job from where I live. I don't like driving a motorcycle at, 5:15 in the morning. 70 miles an hour on the interstate. You got crazy fucking stupid people out there driving at the same time in the morning. We'll get run over or something. So it's a long day after you've had 3 days off for a 3-day weekend for a holiday. It's hot today too. It's kind of hot in the shop. I don't know. I've got a thermometer at work in my shop, but I'm not really sure how hot it was today. It's, let's see, it's 74 right now, so it's cooled off quite a bit. It was hotter than that earlier, I'm sure. I didn't break a sweat, but it got sticky all of a sudden. All right, Mountain Dew, there you go. There's your plug for the day. Mountain Dew Kickstart. Black cherry. If you haven't tried it, try it. Okay. The colder it is, the better it tastes. There we go. All right, that's your plug, Mountain Dew. Pepsi product. Woo-hoo. Now I try and stay away from all the other ones. This is the only drink that I drink, from the store these days. It's got that high fructose corn syrup shit in it. It's bad for you. Anyway, it wets my whistle. That's what it does. So, as I was saying, I got 8 people on here. Isn't that cool? I like it. Hey, if you guys don't mind doing me a favor, tap the screen twice and like my video, please. I mean, you don't have to. It don't take but a second, though. It'd be really cool to have some likes today. I did pretty good. I was at Saturday. What was it? Saturday night. I did a video. It was like an hour long from home in my basement. Actually, it's my man cave. Hi, Mom. How you doing? Oh, my mom's on here. Margaret Nelson Earhart. That's my mom. So everybody say hello to my mom. She's a special lady. Anyway, so did a video Saturday night. I had maybe one or two people in. There was one guy that came in while I was doing my video. It's kind of ironic that him and I went to mutual people from Charlotte. I don't remember ever going to school with him, but I know who he is, and it was pretty cool to talk to him. Your mom, you gonna say hi to yourself? I hear you. Well, that's pretty cool. So Mom went and seen, who was that? Trace Adkins and somebody else, another country singer. How was that concert, Mom? Pretty good? Wow, 10 peeps. Yeah, no, well, I got 8 now. I see 8. I don't see 10. I see 8. I got 1 like. But maybe I'll look up and, you know, 1 or 2 of those people will subscribe, or maybe 1 or 2 more will come in and like my page. Just hit the screen twice. That's all you have to do. I don't really require people to do it. If you like what I got to say, you'll listen. If you don't, then you'll move on, hopefully, and I won't get myself in trouble because I've said something to offend somebody. Of course, now I also will give shout outs. So if you want a shout out, type something, type your name, I don't know, where you're from, how old you are, what you look like, if you're ugly or pretty or whatever, and I'll give you a shout out. So I'm going the short way home today because I got to stop and get some goat juice. Trace Adkins and Aaron Tippin. Yep. Well, you know, I can't really say I've really listened to those guys. I probably have heard their stuff before because, you know, we do have people in the shop that listen to country music. But who was that we went and seen together, Mom, that country artist? Was that Jake Owen or Josh Owen? All I remember is his last name was Owen. And then there was Denny something or other, and that McLaughlin girl or whatever. I can't remember her name either. That was a pretty good show. I enjoyed that one. Of course, it was close to home and it was free. I didn't want to go by myself, but I thought my mom would like it, so I took her with me. Anyway, some country music's all right. Some of the newer stuff's okay. I don't really listen to a lot of the new country music. I grew up watching Hee Haw as a kid, so I'm familiar with a lot. Mel Tillis and Tammy Wynette, Dolly Parton, and Bo Cephas, the original, Hank Williams Sr., Ronnie Millsap, all those old country stars I'm used to hearing. So, I grew up on that kind of music. But as the years progressed, I found a love for rock and heavy metal, and it's just gone off. I've really been listening to a lot of psychedelic rock lately. There's a band called Dead Flowers that they're from Europe, and they've got kind of that Pink Floyd sound to them, so they're really good. I enjoy listening to them. But you can tell, like if you listen to their music, you can tell that a lot of those psychedelic band influences, like from the 70s, well, late 60s, early 70s. I think Dead Flowers put their first album out like 90 or 91, or maybe even 89. I do have their first album, but I listened to a song called Slouch something 9, Slouch Effect number 9 or something like that. And it's on one of their newer albums. I think it was like 9. You guys may want to write this down. Where I go to get free music, when they did all that stuff with Napster, all that stuff, the only problem was I was in the sun for 2 hours. Yeah, over the road, people are hitting it all over the place. Somebody's going to end up with a flat tire back there. But anyway, I found this album by accident. I listen to this guy every now and then out of Tennessee. He's got and he's a album 7 days a week. Well, 6 days a week. And then Sunday he does jewelry and coins and stuff like that. and he had a psychedelic Sunday one day, one night, and nobody was bidding on this album, so I thought, looks pretty interesting, I'll get it. Well, I'm glad I did, because it's a really, really good album. And they actually redid a Jimi Hendrix song on there. But like I was saying, I use this site, you might want to write this down, it's called freemp3cloud.com. And you can go on there. What you do is you type in the name of the album, or the name of the artist and the song that you want, and it'll bring it up. And then, like a lot of the music that I find and listen to, I found by accident, because when I go on there, it'll also give you other artists or other songs that are similar or like those. So it's a good way to find music if you're not familiar with, and I've done a lot of that here lately. So I usually, like at work, I put it on YouTube, and I'll put in, psychedelic rock, and it'll play that kind of stuff all day long, and I never have to touch it. Well, unless I don't want to hear the commercials, because they got to throw those in. But it's a pretty cool deal, freemp3cloud.com, coming to your local computer today. So I'm at the gas station. I'm gonna have to wait. They're pretty busy today. What's the gas price here? I'm at Costco. I get my gas at Costco because I get like 10 or 15 cents off a gallon or something like that, and it's a pretty sweet deal. I think gas is like $2.99 a gallon right now, so if I could get it for less than that, that's a win-win for me. But it's this is what I do, so I have to wait in line. That's the only thing I don't like about coming here, so I have to wait in line. But they've got these cool little things up on the poles that tell there's 3 pumps, 1, 2, 3, and there's this cool little thing on the pole up there that tells you which pumps are empty. Now this guy here pulled in front of me, he's going to the first pump, but I'm not real happy about trying to slide into that second pump, because generally the first pump people don't pull up far enough, and there's a guy in the third pump. So the second pump, I'll just wait my turn, and this guy on the third pump's done, so it'll take him a second, he'll be out of the way, and I can go to the second pump. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to getting home today. I got an Amazon package coming. I got some of those rain shield things, you put on your side windows that like if you're riding down a road and it starts raining, it doesn't rain in the car. It's 264 down at Lake of the Ozarks. Okay. Well, maybe it won't be too much more expensive here, hopefully. I think I saw $2.99 this morning. Where was I at this morning? I was at the Quick Trip on 70, I think, we're going west. I think it was $2.99. Because I remember thinking to myself, God, man, what's up with these gas prices? But, well, we all know what happened. I'm not going to get into that, but because I like to stay away from the political bullshit, All right, so if you guys will give me just a few minutes, I'm going to go fill up my tank, and I'll be back as soon as I get back. All right, so just hang out and wait. I'll be back. It won't take long. I ain't got an electric car. It won't take me 20 minutes to get 150 miles. I'm funny, dogs heard you, horn beeping. Look around out the window. Yeah, this thing, Ashley, I don't seen Ashley yet, Mom. I don't know if she's on or not. I haven't seen Ashley in a few days. Wait a minute, was she on Saturday? She may have been on Saturday night for a few minutes. I don't remember. She said she was busy. She went to see her friend Mindy. Mindy's an elementary school girl that she went to school with. I'll turn that down, because if I don't turn it down, sure enough, I'll get a citation from YouTube. You've used copyrighted material, and big deal. It's a free-for-all, don't you know? Public domain. Well, yeah, they still get me for that, because I'm not supposed to share it, I guess. I don't know. It would seem to me that the artist would want me to play their music on my live feeds, because it's popular music. What do you expect? Just resetting my tripometer here. Let's see, 2653.3. Says I average 29.9 miles per gallon. I guess that's on the highway. It's pretty good. Says I got 395 miles. Oh, it's 93 degrees outside. Okay, I don't know what happened to that 74. Well, that's weird. All right, so let's reset the tripometer. All right, reset. All right, there we go. Bling, 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 bling. All right. So I only spent, let's see, gas was $2.76 a gallon. So I spent $28.74, and the damn thing wouldn't let me put that extra penny in there. I like to do things in even numbers, or in thirds or quarters or whatever. And I tried to put that extra penny in there, and it just would not let me start that car again. So I guess it was all the way to the top, filled up to the top or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. We were talking about music downloads. Okay, so anyway, I went on that site, like I said, and got that other album by that band. And I was on VR chat the other night, virtual reality, and there was a couple of people I hang out with there on the machine. They're real huge music lovers, and we always go somewhere that has like a video player, and we trade music with each other. Like they'll play one of theirs, I'll play one of mine, and back and forth. And they like that album pretty good. I don't remember the name of the album, but anyway, it's that Dead Flowers. It's their third album, and I got so much music that I have a 1 terabyte external hard drive that I've had for a while, and I filled it up, but I really want to keep my music separate. So what I did is I went, I got another external hard drive. So right now I'm transferring all the music from one hard drive to the other, and I was on there last night, and I got to the F's, and then I think I'm going to probably continue on today. Hopefully I can get it all done today. I don't know if I'll be able to or not. And a lot of traffic on Monday afternoon. What's up with that? I guess it's everybody from GM has gotten off work. You guys, excuse me, working class. Yeah. Cheers. So, did anybody catch the Ozzy Osbourne special the other night? Black Sabbath, he did a final tribute or final farewell tour with Black Sabbath the other night. They did a pay-per-view. I didn't pay for it. I didn't watch it because I'm sure I'll be able to get it on video, or somebody will bootleg it. I'll be able to get it on the internet in a few days anyway. But I have seen clips. He didn't stand up the whole show, or at least not the clips that I saw. He was sitting in a chair, And I think it's the same chair that's on the Ozman Plymouth album. You know, it's got the bat wings and stuff, you know, behind him. If anybody went to that, anybody either went to the concert or watched it on pay-per-view, let me know. I want to know if it was any good or not. That way, when it does come out on video, I don't want to waste my money trying to watch it or waste my time, because I'm a huge fan of concerts, of course, and I don't want to see somebody sitting in a chair like the whole time they sing, or see any screw-ups or anything like that. So I'm looking forward to the 17th. Collective Soul is playing here in St. Charles, Missouri. Well, I guess that's Maryland Heights. I don't know. There's like a fine line between the two. It's probably because of the heat. Yeah, it may have been, because I think it was hot over there in England. They played in Birmingham. I think is where they played. So it wouldn't surprise me if it was hot over there. You know, it doesn't get like extremely cold over there. You know, very rarely. I mean, it does, but very rarely from what I hear. I know that I went there back in 2011, I believe it was. I went to England to see Iron Maiden play, and this was like September. And I remember walking around in September and over there, and it was blue jeans and a t-shirt. I was still sweating, so it was pretty warm that time of year over there. Oh, traffic. I hate traffic. This is the only thing I hate about working like an extra hour per day, running this traffic. But I'm going to be off Friday, so I don't know if I'm going to do a video Friday, like from home, or if I'm going to do one in the car. I'm going to be taking my car to the shop to take care of this problem with my noise cancellation system, where I get this low, like grunting noise or grinding noise, like I'm on one of those, strips on the side of the highway, what they call rumble strips. So I've narrowed it down, and I've done some research and found out that it in fact is the noise cancellation system, because my phone speaker doesn't work right either on my Bluetooth. And I think it has a lot to do with that. Somebody was telling me there's two speakers up in the headliner in the back. They were like, oh, just take those out. But no, there's an update. So I got an appointment there at 9 o'clock in the morning at good old Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. That's where I got my car. That's their jingle, by the way. They sing that when they do their TV commercials. And then I got a guy coming over at 1 o'clock. It's a roofer friend of mine. You know, we had some hail back probably a month ago now. And my cars both got beat to death. And, well, I've got 3 cars, but 2 of them got beat pretty bad by the hail. And then my roof got tore up pretty good, I guess, because they were like, oh yeah, man, you need the shingles. So there was a guy that had come by that was recommended by my insurance agent, had stopped by, and he came to look at everything, and he was the one that diagnosed, yeah, you need a new roof and all that. So I thought, okay, cool. So then he told me to let him know when the adjuster got there, because the adjuster has to come look and give an estimate, look at all the damage, and see how much the insurance company's willing to pay, and all this other rigmarole. So the guy, he didn't show up. The guy that was supposed to do the work, or was going to meet the insurance adjuster there, he didn't show up. Which, to me, that immediately sends a red flag. And, I didn't call him or anything. I just texted him and said, hey, look, the insurance adjuster's been here, what's up? And then I didn't hear from him for like another probably week and a half. And, it was some sob story. I don't want to get into it right now, but, it wasn't believable, you know what I mean? So I don't want to get up with a shady character. Now, I had this problem back in 2012, I believe it was. There was a storm that came through, and I had another 2 cars that got beat totally to death by some pretty good sized hail. so the insurance company came out. It's been a long time since I've had to do this. Anyway, so the adjuster went ahead and gave me the first part of it. So I still haven't heard from this guy. So I was when I went to get my motorcycle license, I was in class with a guy that owns a roofing company, and I called him and he's like, "Yeah, man, I'll be glad to do your roof." So not only am I going to have somebody get my roof done, but it's going to be somebody that I know and that I trust. Because I got ripped off before on the guys that did my roof before, some 2-bit outfit that was supposed to do some other stuff like on my windows. They never came back, so I went to their office trying to find them, and they had split town. So I'm guessing it was probably one of those fly-by-night places. And actually that place was recommended by somebody that my dad knows, recommended them to me. And God rest his soul, by the way. But anyway, so I was really kind of shocked, and I was like, man, if I ever have to have work done again, I mean, who do you trust, right? Because you got, like when there's a storm or something in an area, there are always these fly-by-night companies that come in and they rent hotel rooms and they stay just long enough to get estimates and get some money, and a lot of them will do like half the work, or they'll jack the prices up so high that you really can't pay for everything. So it's really hard to tell like who's good and who's not. But I know this guy personally, so I know I'm not going to get ripped off. But I'm going to ask him. Now I got some damage to my gutters as well, and some fascia board underneath of the gutters that has dry rotted, and I need that replaced. So I'm going to get a recommendation from him about getting that stuff fixed, and hopefully he'll get me with a good contractor. Maybe they can pick up some of the other ones. I got some windows, outside windows, storm window frames that need replacing. The problem with the ones that I have is they're plastic, and the second time it hailed, which was on Monday, Friday wasn't so bad because it was small, but it lasted a long time. But it still wasn't that bad. Monday, it was about half as long, but the hail was a lot bigger. It was like a golf ball size or something like that. So it damaged my gutters, and it broke the plastic on some of the windows. So I'm going to have some windows replaced. Just the storm windows, on the outside. I'm going to have some of those replaced. But I need those replaced anyway. I've been in this house for, I've been in that house for 13 years, 14 years, something like that. But the house is built in 49, but apparently whoever lived there before I did remodeled it right before I took it over. And, so it's about time to replace the windows. Now I did have my windows in my basement done, and thank God for me, I haven't had any more flooding problems. As much rain as we got there for a little while. I didn't actually have flood, but there was a couple of little spots in my carpet down in my basement that had water in them. And I don't know if that was from the windows, which I'm guessing it probably wasn't, because these guys really sealed those windows really good. I may have a crack somewhere in like one of the walls, just a minute crack or something. So it was in the carpet. I've got like indoor, outdoor carpet downstairs. So, but I need the windows upstairs replaced. But I think a lot of that has to do too with my gutters, maybe dumping water back into the wall, and it's going down the wall. So we're going to try that too and see what happens. But I know that I've only got 2 downspouts on my house. I got one in the front on one neighbor's side, and then I've got one in the back in my driveway side. And for a house that size, I really need 4 spouts, one on each corner at least. I don't have that, so I'm gonna have to have that fixed. So I'm going to have to find a gutter man. I'm going to have to find somebody to, replace the fascia board. And then I got a deck that really needs help. That, unfortunately enough for me, the insurance company wouldn't cover the deck because the deck, it wasn't, the guy told me, he's like, well, we can't fix your deck because the damage that you have to have, or the damage that would be required would be, immediate damage, all at once. And so it wasn't all at once. This is something that's happened over a period of time, the rain and everything. So I guess I'm going to have to figure out a way to fix it myself or tear it down and rebuild it myself or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. What's up, Marcus? How you doing? Good to see you in there. I almost didn't see you, man. I looked up the number and I saw 3. When I looked down and saw you there. Good to see you. How's things over in your neck of the woods today? Same as usual here. Another manic Monday. Of course, Mondays are always manic when you have 3 days off and then you come back, and it took me about half a day to get back in the groove of things. Not to mention the fact that I really didn't have much work to do today. I only had 4 vehicles to inspect today. And then tomorrow, as far as I know, I've only got like 3. But it was funny. I went to take like a half a day off of work. a full day off of work on Friday. Of course, because I've got 2 appointments on Friday. So my boss comes over and he's like, we really kind of need you to maybe show somebody how to do all the paperwork and everything, so we have like backup, in case you're going to be out. And he was really, I don't know what it is with this guy. He's subtle, but he's pushy. You know what I mean? He's not like direct and stuff. He acts like he wants you to make your decision about something without involving him, if that's possible. But anyway, so I knew what he was getting at. He didn't want me to take Friday off because, Fridays are the days when, we have certain vehicles that have to go out by the end of the week. Good to see you. Going well. Every day is working 9 to 5, just stressed. Yeah, I know, man. I worked 6 to 3:30 today. I did a 9-hour day. I like the 6 o'clock shift because it gets me off earlier in the day, but I might try the 7 to 3:30. I'm going to do this for about 6 more months or so, and I'm going back to like 7 to 3:30 or something. Of course, now between September of 24 and like mid-March of 25, I was working, 50 to 56 hours a week, depending on, if anybody worked on Saturday. I was working either 54 hours or 56 hours every week. Not really because I had to, but because I really kind of needed to. That was just a decision I made on my own. But when you work that many hours, man, you get burnt out quick. Excuse me, working man. Need another drink of this. Get my. Hey Marcus, was it you that was telling me they don't have this Mountain Dew Kickstart in your country? Or do they have anything like it except for like the Monster and stuff? I used to drink a lot of energy drinks, but they have that. There's a chemical in there called cyana something or other, and I don't like drinking those. I mean, it's what they call. He called it. What was it? Wastewater treatment plant sludge is how they make vitamin B3 apparently. Some guy went into this long, drawn out conversation about it. So I watched this video. Yeah, Monster Red Bull. I like it with vodka. Yeah, I know what you mean. I used to like Southern Comfort and Sundrop. I don't know if you guys have Sundrop there. Southern Comfort is a liqueur. So I guess it's like a bourbon whiskey. It's a dark whiskey anyway, but it's kind of, and people always talk about how it tastes like NyQuil, it's really thick. And I used to like to drink it with Sundrop. years ago. But I gave that shit up. I don't drink anymore. I mean, I might have an occasional single beer, but I don't know. I just don't have any desire. I don't like that feeling anymore. But that's pretty cool that you drink vodka with Red Bull. It's like what is that, kind of like a spritzer? Wouldn't that make it like a spritzer or something? Anyway, so it has this chemical in it. So, you know, I went from like Monsters to, let's see, Bang, and then I went to Joker, and then I was drinking these off-the-wall brands, you know, like you find in convenience stores. Like, there's one called Rooster Booster and Donkey Kick, and a couple other ones that you can find like at the dollar store. You know, those here today, gone tomorrow stores. They carry a lot of those that are overstocked from other stores that don't get sold. So they're only like $1 a piece. I get them at like Family Dollar, Dollar General, and stuff like that. Let's see here. Macallan is good, but you know, it's so expensive nowadays. Yeah, thanks, Turkey. Well, you know, I used to drink that English. Okay, he's gonna let me go. All right. I used to drink some stuff called Tanqueray, which is a gin, and I would drink that with Sprite. So I would have gin and Sprite, and I started off drinking Gilby's gin, which Gilby's isn't. I don't know. It tastes too much like pine trees. It's like the Tanqueray was good because it was smooth. You know, you didn't get that distinct pine tree smell or taste, and it was really good with Sprite. I never really did a lot of vodka. I mean, every once in a while I'd have like vodka and orange juice, but I don't know. I didn't like that dry feeling with vodka, so that's why I changed. Of course, you know, back in my early 20s, I drank a lot of beer, and I was able to stay skinny, believe it or not. It was like up until I was like 45, I must have weighed, you know, 170 pounds or something like that. I wasn't very big. Now I'm topping the scale at like 245, 250, somewhere in there. And it's funny that, you know, when your metabolism slows down, how quick you can put on the pounds if you're not really active. And I guess I stayed active a lot. You know, I used to do electrical work, so I was constantly up and down ladders and walking long hallways and, you know, pulling wire and things like that. So I got a lot of physical activity, you know, when I was working. But the job that I have now doesn't require me to move around too much. I mean, I still get a lot of steps. I get like 10,000 steps a day, but it's not constant. You know, it's not like it was when I was walking up and down hallways and wanting to get parts and stuff like that. Gin and Sprite's a good choice. Yeah, I used to like it pretty good. So I'm guessing you guys do have Sprite over there then, since you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Alright, so I'm at home. Well, let's see. I didn't see my buddy MAGA in there today. Colin is good, you know, so expensive. Yeah, I already read that. Okay, cool. Alright. But anyway, I'm at my driveway. I didn't see MAGA. I didn't see my moderator daughter in there today either. So I've got to find out what she's up to. She's a good kid. She's just, you know, she's got a lot of problems. You know, a lot of the kids these days do. Either by choice or because they have or because they are put in bad situations. Unfortunately, my daughter was in a bad situation, which I'll get into that some other time. She's got some traumatic brain injury problems that happened to her years ago. 2013, $1 equals 2, T125. $1 equals 40. Nowadays, every Turkish making homemade drink like a chemist do you think about turkey? I like to eat turkey. I've never actually, I've never been to Turkey, man, so I don't really have an opinion. I've heard that Turkey is a nice place to take a vacation. It's rather inexpensive, as compared to like, going on vacation in the U.S. We're not like Arabian, but the whole world thinking Turkey like an Arab. Yeah. What kind of government is that over there? Is that like they're not a socialist country, are they? Yeah, you would like to be sure. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard vacations over in Turkey are really nice. I had a friend named Mark. His name was Mark Seeley, and his mom was from Turkey, I believe. He used to go over there all the time. So he was telling me it was a nice place to visit. You know, the only place I've ever been out of country was I went to England in 2011, like I was talking about earlier. I went over there for a concert, believe it or not. I left here on a Thursday about 7 o'clock in the evening. I pulled in I didn't pull in. I flew into Heathrow Airport, and we got there at like 11:30 in the morning. Let's see, I left on Thursday. We got into Heathrow Airport at 11 o'clock in the morning, and then of course we had to go all the way over to Canning Town, which is about, I don't know, it's about 20 or 30 miles or something like that. We took a cab, and we stayed at a hotel in Canning Town, which was across the river from the O2 Arena. So I went over there to see Iron Maiden play, and man, that was a really cool trip. One of these days I'll do it again. We could only stay a few days because my girlfriend had a job that they told her that she couldn't take off. She ended up calling in sick that Friday. I told them she couldn't make it, so we were there Friday. The concert was on Saturday. Well, it was actually a concert Friday night. I had tickets for both shows, but I only went to one of them. And we went to the show on Saturday night. Trivium opened up. That was a really good show. And we went to a place called Conant Gardens, which is over on I want to say the southwest side of London. I'm not really sure because I was directionally challenged over there anyway. But we rode the tube. The tube was really cool. I like the tube. I'd never been on a subway before, but I was able to ride the tube. That was a pretty cool experience. And but the O2 Arena is like it's like a coliseum, and I'm guessing it was probably around a 20,000 seat arena, but it had a mall built like on the outside of it. So when you went in, the entrance to the arena was like straight ahead, but they had stores. And whose concert did you go to? It was Iron Maiden. It was on the Final Frontier tour. That was the one that was supposed to be like Eddie was from outer space or whatever. That one. And then Trivium opened up for them. But it was really cool because, I met a lot of good people over there. And there are some people that I met while I was there. I actually, I'm still in contact with them today on Facebook. Everywhere I go, I make friends, man. It's just it's a knack that I have for getting along with people, I guess. But and then we were out. They picked us up at my hotel at like 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and we were headed back to Heathrow. But we were riding along the river, the Thames River, or however they pronounce it over there. Oh, also cool. Right on. Iron Maiden, the Scorpions. I bet you that was a good show. I've actually seen Iron Maiden quite a few times over the years. More so in the past probably 10 or 15 years than I have my whole life. I guess I've seen them probably 24 times, over the past 12 years or so. But anyway, we were going down the Thames River on the highway, and we passed, I don't know if you're familiar with who Pink Floyd is. I'm sure you know who Pink Floyd is, duh. But the album Animals, you know, that's got the 4 smokestacks, you know, in that factory. Well, dude, we rode right past that, and that was like probably one of the coolest things. Even though the concert was great and the 2 Arena is a really cool place, that was like the highlight of my whole trip, was seeing that building, knowing that, you know, I had been listening to that album for years. My dream is to go to a Fleet Foxes concert. Um, Fleet Foxes. I don't think I've ever heard of them. They don't go outside the U.S. You know them. I sent an email them, please come to Turkey. Yeah, you almost have to these days. You know, a good way to do that is to get on there, like, if a website, or if they've got a Facebook page, you know, you can contact them there too, I would imagine. We've got what was the name of that band? It's something Fleet here in the U.S. They sound a lot like Zeppelin. Man, I don't know what it is about it. I just can't think today. But there's a band called Something Fleet here in the U.S. and they're pretty good too. But anyway, I'm going to take off, folks. I got shit to do here at the house. I finally got my yard mowed. I think I did that Saturday. You know, early in the day. I'm watching the birds go in and out of my gutters up here. In between my gutter and where the shingles come down on my house, these are small birds, and they get up in my attic. And I'm looking at these birds going in and out of my attic, and it pisses me off because I don't really want them in there. But was it something Van Fleet? Yeah, something Van Fleet is their name. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, you guys have a good day. I'll be on again Wednesday afternoon around the same time. Actually, I've been on here for like 49 minutes now. These videos keep getting longer and longer because I think I'm you know, interacting a little more with people, and it's you know, it makes it a lot better. So anyway, you guys have a good evening. We'll talk to you again. Drink your Mountain Dew. Get you some sleep. Have a good day. Time to go. You know how late it is here. All right. Take it easy, Marcus. Hey, stop in anytime. It's good to see you. We'll talk at you again soon. Y'all take it easy. Peace.